Hello, this is Evan Rogerson, and I'm Motor Gang here, and today we're going to be breaking down the 3.0 game manual update that dropped earlier today, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe in order to please the YouTube algorithm, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So first up, we have some changes to the definition of goalkeeping. Really, I don't think this changes much, although I think I might Q&A it because of some of the specific wording. So it says that goalkeeping is if a robot is not actively moving blocks inside a goal and is not adding or removing blocks to or from the goal or control zone, which is fairly similar. However, this raises the question, like, if you have like a long goal, right? And there's like a block right outside of like the center control zone, and you send your D-score stick down, but you're driving in from the end of the goal. While you are driving down towards that block in there, I mean, you're still reaching into the portion of the goal, and I guess you could argue maybe you're attempting to change the score of the match through legal means, but you aren't actually moving any blocks in the time that you're driving down. So I'm not sure if this would exactly be legal. It probably is, but still probably worth a Q&A. Next up, we have some clarifications to Rule G4 stating that the hero bots, you can copy paste the hero bots, and that's not cheating as long as they're just unmodified hero bots and you're not like copying somebody's modification to the hero bots. Honestly, this doesn't really matter because if you're building the hero bot, you're probably not going to be winning tournaments anyways, and just don't build the hero bot anyways. Come up with your own designs. That's what I always recommend teams do. Now we get to what is probably strategically the biggest change in the manual update for VEXU. So VEXU previously, in order to get the autonomous win point, and like as always, the older version of the manual is on the right-hand side, newer version is on the left. Previously, you had to park in order to get the autonomous win point. And this was really not hard to do. I mean, parking an auto is easy, but it's the strategic implications of this while still winning the match. Because if you take your robot to go and park, you are now opening up the opportunity for your opponents to descore all your blocks out of whatever goal that went in. Usually the middle goals don't get descored, but you would have to leave at least one long goal undefended. And for VEXU, especially because you can max load in VEXU auto, the meta is very much to just fill up your robot with blocks and score them all in the long goal. So if you leave to go park, kind of screws your shot at winning the match, and you're probably up against some pretty decent opponents if they're actually managing to score that many blocks in the long goal and then go and push them all down. So they changed it so that you just cannot be touching the park zone barrier, which is the same as VRC, which I think is a lot better because now you can still have your robots at the end of the long goal and you don't have to sacrifice a bunch of blocks in order to potentially get the AWP. However, after this came out, the GDC said, sounds like it was a mistake and is being corrected, as this was copy-pasted from the VRC section of the manual. Unintentional change. However, when the head of the GDC, or one of the heads of the GDC, says to sell you on the idea to keep it, the VEXU community goes a little bit crazy and kind of starts posting all these things, basically explaining what I just said. And the GDC did decide that this change will actually stay. So you do not have to park in VEXU Auto anymore as of the time that I am recording this. And he also said that they'll probably increase the number of blocks that you have to score for Worlds for VEXU Auto, which I imagine will also be the same for VRC. So again, just to clarify, the rule is going to stay as it is written, where you are not required to park. And massive W from the GDC for listening to the community on this one. Really glad that they have some people there that are actually listening, unlike some of the people that were on the GDC a few years ago that were like, no, this is what I ruled, this is what it is. You don't get to say. The new people on the GDC are so very good, and thank you for listening to the community's feedback on this. Which, yes, like I was saying, you now no longer have to start contacting the Alliance Park Zone, as long as you are in the volume of the Alliance Park Zone, which I think just makes the game a little bit easier, gives more variability in starting positions, and especially if you have things like D-score sticks that stick out past the side of your robot, it makes it a little bit easier to set up, because this is a silly rule anyways. I think at least our 24-inch robot, we have a couple zip ties on it previously, just so that we're actually touching the Park Zone instead of just being over it. So that'll be a nice change. For SG10, they did clarify that goalkeeping is allowed during autonomous. There was already like some Q&As and stuff, but this is very clear and blatant now, which is nice. And then this is actually another really big, probably for VRC, the biggest change to the rules, and I think this is a good thing, and other people seem to as well. So if you're in a goalkeeping stalemate, so like you have two robots both pushing on the same blocks or set of blocks, and both of them are pushing, both robots automatically get the SG10 violation if they remain in the goal without moving the blocks. So if you get in a stalemate, both of you guys are going to get in a penalty. In this case, a robot should receive a major violation, meaning a DQ, if their mechanism adds or removes blocks to the control zone as they depart. So basically, if you want to be the team when you're stalemated that backs away first. Because if you don't back away first, the other team backs away. First of all, both of you are getting SG10 violations. But now if you accidentally descore blocks or add to the control zone, then you're going to get DQ'd. So definitely want to be very careful about not getting into pushing matches like this, and if you do, you want to back off straight away because you could very easily get yourself DQ'd. Overall, I think this is a good thing because it incentivizes you to not be sitting there, because previously it was like you wanted to stay there as long as possible. So I think that's good in that sense. However, could be kind of hard for the refs to enforce and see if it's a major violation. But overall, I think this is a good change. Have to see how this gets played out at the next couple signature events and stuff. But overall, I think this is good. And then, of course, just like a bunch of Q&As got added as well. Additionally, they also completely rewrote R17, no longer the list of like the website and stuff. Basically, now if you want to know if a part's legal, you need to check that link. They have a giant spreadsheet that has like every single VEX part that is legal. If the part isn't in there, then it is not legal. If you think that it should be legal, like the GDC mixed something, then you can go ahead and like email the GDC and be like, hey, this is a VEX part, why isn't it legal? So that's good, because the whole reason this rule became implemented, and this was already kind of in a Q&A, was because Flex Wheels got taken off of the VEX website, because I guess VEX is not selling Flex Wheels anymore. So I guess stock up on those. But basically, since they're not selling Flex Wheels and they removed them from the website, Flex Wheels were technically no longer legal to use because they're not on the website. You can't prove that they're a VEX part. So now by having the legal parts list, it makes it so that VEX is not, like the GDC is not dependent on what the people running the VEX website do, which is obviously a good thing because they're not always in the closest communication, as also happened with the VEX Pro incident earlier this year. So that kind of wraps it up for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe in order to please the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you for the 4.0 update in April.